We're about 10 minutes into this one here on HopTV. Connor Newcomb with you from Homewood Field as the 6th-ranked Johns Hopkins Blue Jays take on the Swarthmore Garnet here in a Centennial Conference women's soccer matchup in Baltimore. We apologize for the technical difficulties that kept you in the dark a bit for the first 10 minutes of this one, but as we hit the 10-minute mark here, it is still 0-0 between the Garnet and the Blue Jays so far in this one. No shots on goal for either team through 10 minutes. Hopkins came close, had kind of a deflected shot, hit off the outside of the post about 3 or 4 minutes into this one. Otherwise, not many chances for either side so far in this one, but a big game here in the Centennial Conference. Hopkins comes in ranked 6th in the country. They're 9-1-4 overall. And in 6 conference games so far, it's been 3 wins and 3 draws. So they are still unbeaten in Centennial play. On the other side, Swarthmore 9-3 overall. They're 3-2 in conference play. And although they were not ranked in this week's poll, they did receive votes. So they are just outside that top 25 looking in at the moment. And Swarthmore, one of the better teams that Hopkins has seen so far this season. So this should be a good one, and it has been so far through 11 minutes as Obayashi will try a shot from way outside. And that one goes high and wide for a Swarthmore goal kick. Your starters for Hopkins in this one, it's Jackson, Rocks, and O'Toole up top for the Blue Jays. In the midfield, Lupton, Smith, Maharis, Colson, and Dameron. And in the back, Obayashi, Farrell, and Buck, with the sophomore Caitlin Hendricks getting the start in goal for Leo Wiles' team. On the other side for Swarthmore, it's Moser, Wiederhold, and Mounts playing up top for the Garnet. Kingurzo, Kovitz, Cairns, and Taylor in the midfield, with Rosler in the back for this Garnet team. Here's a shot from the top of the box, and that sails high and over the bar. Emma Tapp in there as well in the starting lineup. And the goalkeeper who will take this, or excuse me, who took that previous goal kick, that was Chantel Reyes, sophomore goalkeeper out of Portland, Oregon, wearing the number 1 jersey for the Garnet. Lizzie King, the final 11th starter, I didn't or failed to mention before for Swarthmore. The Garnet and the All-Reds, Hopkins in the white, Rachel Jackson with a takeaway. Jackson barreling in towards the box, has it taken off her feet, and it's cleared back only as far as Rocks. Rocks will try a shot, and it's well wide. Chantel Reyes will boot it away. Again, Reyes, sophomore out of Portland. She has now started all 13 games this season for the Garnet. She's got a save in this one, so give her 34 on the season, and she's allowed just 2 goals this year. That's right, just 2 goals have gotten by her, and she started every game. Now, hasn't really completely dominated the minutes, but has been the starter in every game for the Garnet. As Jackson tries to turn, has it taken off her feet. Reyes in there again in 7 of the previous 12 games. She started all 12, but in 7 of those starts, she played only the first half and then was on the bench for the second half. So technically got the start, but split the time. But still, the 2 goals allowed is an impressive number. And live as we're just about 14 minutes into this game, she now has a 311-minute shutout streak going, and it's counting as the time continues to run here at Homewood Field. As this Swarthmore team has won 3 in a row, all by 1-0 score lines. Took down Washington College, Franklin and Marshall, and Farmingdale State. 3 consecutive victories, all by the 1-0 score line. They were supposed to also play on Wednesday. This was supposed to be a really tough week for Swarthmore. They were scheduled to have played Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Of course, that would come after 9 days off, which helps. But they were supposed to play Farmingdale State Monday, Bryn Mawr on Wednesday, and then this game against Hopkins today, Saturday. But I think somewhat luckily for them, because of that crazy rain we had all day in the area on Wednesday, that game against Bryn Mawr was washed out, and it has been moved to Tuesday, October 22nd for Swarthmore. So they didn't have to play that Wednesday game, so they last played Monday at home with a 1-0 win over Farmingdale State College. Now on the Hopkins side, they also were supposed to play a game on Wednesday. That was on the road at McDaniel, had it washed out, but they were able to make it up the next day. They played, instead of what was supposed to be a Wednesday night game, they played a Thursday afternoon game. It got started at 3:30 at McDaniel, and Hopkins won that one 1-0. Riley O'Toole into the box. O'Toole, and it's picked up by Reyes. She came off her line, and Riley O'Toole, she got the goal in the win over McDaniel. 64th minute tally for the junior, her 4th of the season, gave the Blue Jays that 1-0 victory over McDaniel just 2 days ago. That one's sent out of bounds for a Hopkins throw. And we talked about Swarthmore, 3-game winning streak. Hopkins on, well, a long unbeaten streak because they've only been beaten once. That was in their 3rd game of the season, a 1-0 road loss to Messiah, who currently sits as the #1 team in the nation. So a pretty good resume for Hopkins, and that's why they rank number 6 in the poll this week. Again, 9 wins, 1 loss, 4 draws on the season for the Blue Jays. They've got a 2-match winning streak. Beat McDaniel Thursday, beat Muhlenberg here 2-1 last Saturday. Scored twice in the final 10 minutes to come back and win that one over the Mules. And that snapped a streak of 3 consecutive draws. This one's cleared up the field. Maggie Colson brings it down. Obayashi tries to send one in for Jackson. Not sure what the intent was there, but I think it was cross. She just hit it off the wrong part of her foot, and Reyes out there to pick it up. Now, Chantel Reyes, again, 7 of the 12 starts she's played a half, but in her last 3 games, obviously started all 3, she has played every minute. So starting to settle into the not just starting goalkeeper, but now full-time goalkeeper role for Swarthmore here this season. Free kick coming here for the Garnet, 18 minutes into this one. Eleanor Moser will take it. Senior out of Oakland, California, playing that sweeper position. She's kind of played all up and down the field in her career, but she anchors the back line now for the Garnet. Started every game, has 2 assists on the season for Moser. Wears number 31 in red. Dameron boots it away, but only as far as Grace Taylor. Taylor feeds it off to the outside, and back to Taylor, number 19. Taylor into the box. Laurel Buck is there. A shot almost squeaks through the legs of Caitlin Hendricks, but she's able to go down and squeeze it before there was any other trouble. It was Lizzie King, the junior forward, bearing down on her, trying to get to that one and poke home the rebound, but Hendricks fell on top of it for her first save of the day and her 45th save here in her sophomore season. 13 starts now for Hendricks, 45 saves, 10 goals allowed on the season since taking over for Robin Lipschultz, who was injured after a couple of starts. Switch of fields over to Alex Dameron. She'll try a cross. Jackson running in. It one hops into the hands of Reyes. Good back and forth play so far here at Homewood Field. The final game of a long day of Hopkins athletics, mostly here in Baltimore. And the third game today that's been played on this field. Colson gives it off. Carly Lupton-Smith back to Colson. Up the field for Rocks. Rocks trying to keep it in. Tries the cross, but it went across the goal line and will be a goal kick as the assistant referee put the flag up there. It started with the football team falling to Franklin and Marshall 20-17 earlier today. And then the field hockey team just wrapped up a 5-0 win over Swarthmore. It will be a corner here coming for Hopkins. Alex Dameron will take it with a right foot. An in-swinger. Headed on, and it goes wide. Maggie Colson got her head to it. Trying to find her first goal here in her senior season. Instead, another goal kick for the Garnet. Elsewhere on campus, a couple of volleyball matches inside Goldfarb Gymnasium. 2 3-set victories for Hopkins. Took down Swarthmore early and Susquehanna late today. Lupton-Smith tries a shot. Didn't get as much power as she wanted on that one. Easy save for Reyes. And with the 2 sweeps for Matt Troy's volleyball squad, the Blue Jays now a perfect 23-0, extending the best run in school history. Right now ranked number 9 and should see that go up in the polls. Obayashi through 2 defenders. Mizuho Obayashi to her right foot. Tries a shot. It's blocked down. Lupton-Smith with a follow. That's blocked as well. Moser got to that one. 2 chances for Hopkins, and now Swarthmore will run the other way. Long ball for King, but too much speed from Alex Dameron. She'll run it down and send it back to her goalkeeper, who clears it to midfield. Nice attack and counterattack there. And Obayashi gets it back, the junior out of Ogden, Utah. Up the sideline for O'Toole. Up to Jackson. Rachel Jackson trying to get it to the right foot. Has it poked away. Moser in the area again. Laurel Buck pokes it up in the air. Buck has missed some time with injury. It's good to see her continue to be in the starting lineup. Sophomore out of Oak Hill, Virginia, number 12 in white, shielding that one out for a Hopkins throw. Rachel Jackson trying to apply a little pressure here. Just about a quarter of a way through this one with no score so far. 6 shots for Hopkins, 2 for Swarthmore, 1 save for each goalkeeper. That's where we stand in this one. Todd Ankadis in his 15th season at the helm of the Swarthmore program, 188 wins. He's taken this team to the NCAA tournament the last 5 seasons, and a good chance for them to get to it for a 6th consecutive time this year. But a corner coming now for Hopkins. Dameron takes it. An outswinger. Reyes out. And it finds the back of the net. That one was almost misjudged in goal by Chantel Reyes. And Hopkins has a 1-0 lead with a goal in the 24th minute. There was a pack of Blue Jays there trying to get their heads to it and get Hop on the board. But it's a 1-0 lead for the Blue Jays. The shutout streak for Chantel Reyes ends after 23 minutes in this one. 320-minute shutout streak. Emily Maharis was the head that got to it. The senior out of New Jersey gets her team-high 10th goal of the season for Majerus. The assist comes off the corner from Alex Dameron as the junior gets her second helper of the year. So Majerus with the goal, her 10th of the year. And for Emily Majerus, her 23rd of her very, very successful four-year career so far here at Hopkins. And in the 24th minute, she gives her team a 1-0 lead. Of course, not the biggest goal Majerus has scored this season. She had that PK winner in the 89th minute last Saturday against Muhlenberg that gave Hopkins the 2-1 lead with about 80 seconds to play that they would hold on to for the victory. But that one a big headed goal as well to open the scoring here against Swarthmore. Of course, for Hopkins, the regular season running down. Talked about it during the field hockey game about their regular season running down, and the women's soccer schedule will mirror the field hockey schedule for the rest of the season, as you mostly see happen, obviously, with Swarthmore field hockey and women's soccer here today. So after this one, Leo Wiles' team will play next Saturday on the road against Ursinus, then Wednesday, October 30th at Gettysburg, before they finish the season here. Here's Rachel Jackson. Jackson is in. Great diving save by Reyes. Rachel Jackson tried to double the lead, and Chantel Reyes came out with a big-time save. That was a great chance right there for Hopkins. Booted back up towards Jackson. She'll turn to the right foot, tips it on for O'Toole, but the flag is up for offside. But back to that scheduling again. This the second to last home game of the regular season for Hopkins. The last one will be Saturday, November 2nd, a 3 p.m. start against Franklin and Marshall. Laurel Buck clears it away, but it comes back to Lizzie King. She gives off for Taylor. Grace Taylor, the junior out of Minneapolis. Dumps one back. Now it finds the feet of Brittany Wiederhold, but she is dispossessed. Nice move on the outside. Maddie Rocks. Rocks over to O'Toole. It's played on back for Majerus. Majerus looking for Jackson, headed away. Colson trying to win it. Stays on the ball. Maggie Colson, good fight there, but just couldn't keep it within range of Rocks, and it goes out for a Garnet throw. One nothing our score in favor of Hopkins. Emily Majerus, 24th minute, headed goal off a corner kick. That's how Hopkins has the lead. Rocks, Lupton-Smith. Carly Lupton-Smith to the right foot. A lot of contact. No whistle. And the Garnet bring it the other way. Up to Lizzie King, the junior out of Swarthmore. Stayed right at home to go to school. King with a move to her left. King tries to feed one through. And that opportunity stuffed by Natalie Farrell. Chance from way outside is an ambitious effort there from the senior Maddie Cairns, but she puts it high and a goal kick for Hopkins. Cairns, the senior out of Charleston, South Carolina, a goal and an assist for her on the season. And just tried to test Hendricks from way out, but missed it high. Hendricks with a goal kick only as far as Taylor. Obayashi with her head to it. And Majerus comes away with it. Deflected down. Majerus tries to play it long. Rocks looking to run onto it. Reyes off her line and clears it away. Gets it up towards Sydney Kovitz, number 2 in red. Senior out of D.C. Back to Majerus now. Majerus with space. Emily Maharis tries to feed on through for Jackson, but that pass was blocked by Emma Tapp, the senior who is appearing in just her third game of the season today and makes her second start. Number 23 in red on the back line for Swarthmore. Here's Wiederhold, another senior on this Garnet team. A very veteran team having a very good year at 9-3 on the season. Tipped ahead for Maharis. Emily Maharis in a one-on-one battle. Looking for Rocks. Maddie Rocks. She gets there and wins the throw for Hopkins. Lupton Smith back out to Rocks. Feeds back for Dameron. Into the box, looking for Maharis. It's headed away. Colson knocks it down, but now it's cleared out towards Laurel Buck. Buck plays for Farrell and Obayashi. Obayashi back to her right foot. Feeds it through for Jackson. Rachel Jackson able to run onto it. Taken off her foot. O'Toole runs it down. Little miscommunication though. And Swarthmore will clear. Maharis. Lupton Smith keeps it in play. To the left foot. Cross. Into the box. And it's fed lightly on goal. Maddie Rocks wanted to get a little more of that one. Instead, a pretty easy save for Chantel Reyes. And a foul goes against Hopkins. Just over 31 minutes into this one. Of course, big for Hopkins to get the first goal, get the lead in this one so they can play from ahead. With a stellar back line. Fed into the box. Hendricks out to get it. They were looking for Wiederhold, but the senior couldn't get her head to it. Lupton Smith. Back to Dameron. Up to Maharis. Maharis feeds on through for Rocks. Maddie Rocks has tons of space. Into the box now and has her cross set out for a corner kick. Dameron will take it. Had the assist on the 24th minute goal off a corner from this same exact spot that was headed home by Emily Maharis. They'll try it again. Dameron looking for Colson. Feeds on through for Jackson. Jackson tries a shot. It's blocked. Maharis on the ball now. She has it poked away for a throw-in as Lizzie King got her foot in there. And now they'll say that was off Maharis. Looked like King went in and poked it away, but the referee doesn't agree, and a couple substitutions will come in for Swarthmore. Number 24, Samantha Barnes in there. Number 20, Sophia Stills comes in as well. And number 4, the freshman Nikki Gibbons. They all check in for the Garnet here in the 34th minute. Dameron keeps it in along the sideline. Plays long for Jackson, just a little strong. And Reyes will pick it up. Hopkins wins the throw. Jackson pokes it along. Now Colson And she'll get it back to Dameron, who flies one deep in there for O'Toole. Can she keep it in? Heads it down by the goal line. And the Garnet get it out. Fight for possession. Barnes trying to win it away from Maharis. She does. Barnes up to King. And a throw for Swarth. Throw in taken by Luis Rosler. Farrell clears. Now Barnes. And out for a Hopkins throw. Maharis. And a handball against her. Moser will take. Plays it short. Up the field for Rosler. Rosler into the box. Tries a shot! And the Garnet have leveled it at 1 in the 36th minute. A strike from the senior, Luis Rosler, her first goal of the season, and it's even at 1. As soon as she took it, you thought it was a cross, and then it just didn't curl, stayed on the frame of the goal, and Hendricks couldn't get to it. And the fourth shot of the day for Swarthmore ends up as goal number 1. Luis Rosler, the senior, out of Bexley, Ohio. Started every game this year. She gets her first goal of the season and just the second goal of her 4-year career. Obviously a defensive-minded player. With just 4 career points, a goal and 2 assists coming into this one. But gets herself the goal to tie things at 1 in the 36th minute. And we're even once again. Now for Swarth, it's been a little while since they've scored more than once in a game. They've only done that once in their previous 6 matches. And that was in a 4-3 overtime loss to McDaniel back on September 28th. In every other game, they've scored 1 goal 4 times and been shut out once in that stretch as well. But all 4 of those 1-goal games were 1-0 victories. So conceding a goal was really unusual for this Swarthmore team. Again, earlier in the game, that was just the 3rd goal of the year to get by Chantel Reyes in net. For Hendricks, the 11th goal to get by her this season. Emma Tapp will take this. Into the box. Headed along. Hendricks is out, and she gets to it just before Samantha Barnes could get her foot in the air and try and poke that one past her. It was headed on by Stills. Barnes almost got there, but a nice aggressive play by Hendricks in goal. Lupton Smith. Given over to Nikki Gibbons. Now Lizzie King. Maharis the other way. Long ball up for O'Toole. O'Toole in a foot race with Rosler. O'Toole wins it. Riley O'Toole into the box. Over to the left foot. She's taken down from behind, and the referee says no foul, and it will be a goal kick for the Garnet. Just enough of a touch there on O'Toole where I thought there might be a whistle. But Hopkins squanders that chance as Swarthmore makes a sub. Into the game comes Kim Cockenmeister, sophomore out of Greenwich, Connecticut, as Lizzie King heads to the bench. Cockenmeister, number 25 in red out there. 6 goals for her on the season. Although that stat a little skewed. She had 4 in one game back against Eastern Connecticut State. Here's Colson. Rolls it up for Rocks. Hopkins still hasn't made a sub in this one. Rocks pushed off the ball, comes up limping a bit. Jackson wins it back. And now it's taken away. That pass deflected up the field. Seneca Kingurzo plays it to her left. Here's a shot. One hop, pretty easy for Hendricks off the foot of Sydney Kovitz, senior out of D.C., who has 1 goal and 1 assist on the season. That one out to midfield, headed out by Gibbons, and a Hopkins throw. Just about 5 minutes until the half. Emily Maharis in the 24th minute. Louise Rosler in the 36th minute. That's where we stand 1-1. Here's Rachel Jackson. On the left foot over to O'Toole. Obayashi looking for Maharis. Bounces over her head and it's cleared away. Colson. Maharis. Maharis with room. To the outside for Rocks. Maddie Rocks into the box. Low cross for Jackson. Left it a little behind her. And Kovitz will send it away. Pass up for Cockenmeister. Kingurzo. Up to Barnes. Back to Kingurzo. Long ball up the field looking for Stills. And Farrell wins it away, but only as far as Barnes. Big collision. No whistle from the referee. And it's a Garnet throw. Farrell to O'Toole. Lupton Smith. Now Maharis. Nice ball over the top for Maddie Rocks. Rocks, the senior out of Pittsburgh, to her left foot. Back for Maharis. Maharis will try one from way outside. Deflects off Jackson. O'Toole tries a shot. Jackson gets it back. Lupton Smith. And saved by Reyes. Couple of opportunities there for Hopkins, but it remains 1-1. Obayashi brings it down nicely and plays it up for Lupton Smith. Ball for O'Toole. Farrell has it run over top of her. Cockenmeister into the box with a shot saved by Hendricks. Caitlin Hendricks off her line to make a huge save. Looked like it would almost certainly be 2-1 Garnet. Instead, it remains level and a corner coming for Swarthmore. Big time save for the sophomore Hendricks, her 3rd of the day. Corner coming here from Kovitz. Towards the top of the box. It runs on through for a shot. Deflected in front, and Hendricks dives on top. Big sequence there from Caitlin Hendricks, the sophomore goalkeeper out of San Diego. She does her job to keep this thing level with under 2 minutes until the half. 11 shots for Hopkins, 7 shots for Swarthmore. This has been a good one so far here at Homewood Field. Stills. Up in the air, Gibbons trying to bring it down, but Lupton Smith got to it first to clear. Nice tackle there from Maharis to win the ball. Up for Jackson. Rachel Jackson brings it down. A minute to play in the half. Jackson steps over the ball to her left foot. Rachel Jackson! Hopkins 2, Swarthmore 1. What a miraculous run by Rachel Jackson as she gets her 7th goal of the season to give the Blue Jays the lead right before the half. Once she brought that thing down, that was all Rachel Jackson as she scores her 7th goal of the season and the 18th career goal for the sophomore out of Vienna, Virginia. Made a couple nice moves, and at the end just poked it by Reyes, who was well off her line. And as long as Hopkins can hold for 45 seconds, they'll take a lead into the half. O'Toole clears up for Jackson. Can she make more magic here? Instead, it runs away from her. Clearance by Colson. Under 30 seconds in the half. Sent ahead. Cockenmeister off her head. Turns around. She pulls Natalie Farrell down, and the call will go against the Garnet. She basically picked up the Hopkins sophomore and took her to the ground. That's an easy call for our head referee. And with the kick from Hendricks, we will head to the half at Homewood Field. A good half of soccer here in Baltimore as Hopkins has a 2-1 lead. Scoring started with Emily Maharis on a header off a corner in the 24th minute. Then after an equalizer from Swarthmore, that right there from Rachel Jackson has given the Blue Jays a 2-1 lead as we hit the half. We'll be back for a big second half here in Baltimore. Don't go anywhere. You're watching HopTV. Welcome back into Homewood Field. We're just about set for the second half here in Baltimore. Connor Newcomb with you on HopTV. For a Centennial Conference women's soccer matchup, number 6 Johns Hopkins against Swarthmore and the Blue Jays. After one half of play, lead it 2-1 over this Garnet team. The goals in the first half. It started with Emily Maharis on a headed goal off a corner. She scored to make it 1-0 Hop. As Rachel Jackson has it in the box. Here's Dameron with a cross. It's headed on, but it's well wide from Lupton Smith. Then the equalizer. Louise Rosler, 36th minute for Swarthmore, made it 1-1. But just before the half, on a beautiful run with the ball, Rachel Jackson, with less than a minute to go before halftime, slotted one home to give this Blue Jays team a 2-1 lead after 45 minutes of play. That's where we stand here in the first minute of this second half. Hopkins 9-1-4, 3-0-3 in conference play. Swarthmore 9-3, 3-2 in the Centennial. As each team looks to pick up its 10th win of the season. Hopkins in the better position to do that at the moment. Throw here for Swarthmore. Of course, these two teams meeting here at Homewood Field, and the last time they played each other was also a meeting here at Homewood Field back in 2018, and one that Hopkins wants to forget. Dameron crosses it in, headed down. Jackson out to get to it. She'll slot it back for Colson. Obayashi now. Obayashi onto the left foot. She'll try a cross. O'Toole deflects it, but it's just wide of the goal. That last matchup was a Centennial Conference Championship game right here at Homewood Field back in November of last year. And it was a couple of teams who were ranked in the top 25 or having great seasons meeting to decide the conference champion. And Hopkins had the home game, being the number 1 seed, but it did not go their way on that day in November. It ended up being a 5-1 Swarthmore victory here on Hopkins home field to take the conference title. And obviously left a bad taste in Leo Wiles' mouth and the rest of these Hopkins players, despite the fact that both teams advanced on to the NCAA tournament and still had their run in that case. But Hopkins got severely outplayed on its home field and really blown out in a really big game. And it affected their NCAA seeding as well with that 5-1 loss. And the worst part was Hopkins really never in the game. That one goal came in the 75th minute after it was 5-0. O'Toole with a cross, runs all the way through, but Rocks couldn't get to it before it was cleared away. Colson with a shot, but Reyes there to make the save. Lizzie King opened the scoring in the 4th minute of that one. It was 2-0 at halftime, so it was still in play, but then Sophia Stills, Brittany Wiederhold, and Sydney Kovitz all got goals in the first 20 minutes of the second half. It made it 5-0. Swarthmore the other way. They're looking to tie this one up, and Gibbons just didn't make the right decision with the ball there. She had a lot of options, should have passed it off. Instead had it taken away, and now Dameron heads that out of the box. A second foot to it. And Gibbons tried to shoot, but Colson poked it away before she could do so. To the outside, Amelia Mounts now, number 8 in red, sophomore out of New York. Mounts plays it over to Stills. Sophia Stills has her shot blocked. Colson got there, loose in the box, and cleared away. Big start to the half defensively from the senior Maggie Colson. Maharis the other way. Long ball for O'Toole. She's got Jackson making a run. O'Toole with a cross. Rachel Jackson, 3-1 Hopkins. Jackson gets her second of the day, all set up by Riley O'Toole. And the Blue Jays have a 3-1 lead in the 50th minute. Swarthmore had a couple good chances on the other end, but it's Hopkins who converts on their big chance. Perfect cross from O'Toole. She gets her 3rd assist of the year, and Jackson slots it home. That's her 8th goal of the year and her 2nd of the day to make it 3-1 Hop early in the second half. What a job by those two connecting on the goal to double the lead. That one runs on through. Kovitz able to keep it in play. Kovitz with a cross, deflected out, and quickly Swarthmore comes running down the field and earns itself a corner. So the Garnet looking to strike back quickly. Kovitz takes this corner towards the near post. Cleared away for another corner kick, as we will hit the 50-minute mark of this one. Kovitz again. This one closer to the back post. Farrell is there. Here's a shot saved by Hendricks. And Hopkins able to clear it away. O'Toole deflects it up the sideline. Caitlin Hendricks, another big save from the Hopkins goalkeeper. Colson brings it down. Back to Hendricks, who clears away with the left foot. Lupton Smith with a header. Kovitz gets through Farrell. Stills. Farrell blocks the shot. Back to Stills. Tries another shot, and Natalie Farrell again with a block. Jackson. Hands off for Maharis. Maharis up the field, not on the same page with O'Toole. And Amelia Mounts is going to let this one roll out for a goal kick. Mounts getting the start today. She's now started the last 6 games and 10 out of 13 this season for this Swarthmore team after she came off the bench all of last year as a freshman. So I mentioned before the Swarthmore 5-1 win here last year in November in the Centennial Conference Championship game. Swarthmore went on to the Sweet 16 last year, as this one will roll all the way to Hendricks. They got a couple of wins in the NCAA tournament last season. Eventually a 2-0 loss to Middlebury in the Sweet 16. But finished up 17-3-2, went 7-1-2 in Centennial play. And they finished ranked 14th in the country in the final poll, so a very successful season for Todd Ankadis' team last year. It was their 5th consecutive NCAA tournament appearance. This is a good team that Hopkins is seeing today, and it is laden with seniors this year. But a big offensive display by the Blue Jays. That one's sent in, and it'll go to the feet of Hendricks. Chantel Reyes, the goalkeeper, and now granted, you can't put a lot of these goals on the goalkeeper. Most of the time you can't. It takes a defensive breakdown to end up with the couple of goals that Jackson had. But Reyes has started every game this season. Coming into today, she had allowed just 2 goals. She's seen 3 find the back of the net behind her through just 53 minutes now today. So this is an offensive attack that Swarthmore really hasn't seen much of so far this season. Foul goes against Hopkins there as Colson will get whistled for taking down Sophia Stills from behind. Stills, the junior out of Los Angeles. Eleanor Moser, senior out of Oakland, California, will take this one. From about 45 yards out, Moser into the box, looking for Stills. Instead headed away. And a nice run by Damron. And she thought she had won the throw for her team. Instead, it will stay with the Garnet, according to the referee. Into the box, and Majerus clears away. Jackson up the sideline, trying to keep it in, but it just runs out on her. Mounts with a throw in. Still loose on the sideline. That hits somebody's hand, and it did hit the hand of a Swarthmore forward, and a free kick for Hop. Hendricks will take. She boots it away. And now it's Damron. Majerus. Rocks. And that's out of play. Swarthmore won the last one in the conference tournament last year, but Hopkins has thoroughly dominated this all-time series. Here's Jackson, tries to slip it through. Rocks onto the ball, couldn't quite get there as Reyes slides to it. This is the 34th all-time meeting in women's soccer between Swarthmore and Hopkins. In the previous 33, Hopkins is 127, and Swarthmore only has 3 wins, 3 draws in there as well between the two sides. Farrell in a foot race. Natalie Farrell wins it, turns around and clears. Gibbons trying to bring it down, and it's cleared up the sideline. And of the 16 games played here in Baltimore, Hopkins has won 12 of those. They've actually had more success on the road up in Swarthmore, PA against this team. But either way, 27 out of 33 they've won in this series and have only lost 3 times. That one's tipped along. Stills with a shot. Hendricks trying to get there. And the Garnet have one back. Sophia Stills scores her 4th goal. It comes off a turnover. And it's a 1-goal game again. Hopkins 3, Swarthmore 2 in the 57th minute. It was almost like the Blue Jays were standing around in the back there. And Sophia Stills, the junior out of Los Angeles, took advantage. 3-2 now. And it's a close one again. A lot of scoring tonight here at Homewood Field. Maharis looking for Maddie Rocks, but Reyes pick it up on the outskirts of the box. Nikki Gibbons picks up the assist. First assist of the career for the freshman midfielder out of Pittsburgh to go along with her 2 goals this season. And it's a 3-2 game here as we play on to the 58th minute. Collision along the far sideline, and the whistle goes against the Garnet. You had to know this one wasn't going to be just decided by 3 goals. There's still a lot to unpack here in this one. Free kick coming for Hopkins. It's blasted down towards the box, and Gibbons clears it up the sideline. And Hopkins just able to win that throw-in. Of course, the big one last year was the Centennial Conference Championship game, but the 2 teams also met in the regular season up at Swarthmore just about a year ago today, October 13th of 2018. Number 4 Hopkins took it 2-1 over number 22 Swarthmore. Hopkins with that win improved to 13-1 last season. Michelle Santangelo scored early in the 4th minute. Brittany Wiederhold tied it in the 38th minute. Then Kristen Horry got the winner in the 77th minute for Hopkins. So both goal scorers in that victory in the regular season last year were scored by Blue Jays who are no longer with the team. A couple of seniors last season. Here's O'Toole into the box. Riley O'Toole tries to cross it in, and a corner coming up for Hop. She was looking for Jackson, who was hungry for a hat trick. Alex Dameron will head out to the corner to take this one. That one high up in the air and headed away by Moser. Shot comes on and goes well high and wide. So Hopkins with the 3-2 lead now. But a chance right back on the corner. We've hit the hour mark. Each team has a goal here in this second half. Hopkins led it 2-1 at halftime. This has been a good one so far with 30 minutes left to decide it here at Homewood Field. Hopkins 3 and Swarthmore 2 in a big Centennial Conference matchup. If Swarthmore could get this win, get to 4-2, hand Hopkins its first loss, they'd still have a chance at a regular season title here in the Centennial Conference. But it's tough to beat this Hopkins team. They've only lost once all season. That was to the number 1 team in the land. As Laurel Buck clears it away. Swarthmore bench looking for a handball. Looked like it might have been off the arm of Buck, but no whistle from the referee. Up the sideline for Jackson. Runs off the foot of Emma Tapp. Here's Rachel Jackson. 2 goals already. Jackson into the box, and she just pushed it wide. Jackson that close to the hat trick. Instead, just a goal kick for the Garnet. Wow, that was close. She had the right idea. Go far post. It was open, and she just pushed it a touch wide. 2 subs in for Hopkins. Maddie Rocks, Carly Lupton-Smith will both hit the bench. It takes till the 62nd minute for Leo Weil to make his first subs of the day. And the freshman Molly Reich is into the game, along with the junior Samantha Hoffman. Now Swarthmore the other way. In the middle, looking to tie it. Still's got a touch, but easy for Hendricks as she picks it up. Dangerous moment there as Hoffman taken down, and a foul goes against Amelia Mounts. Or excuse me, that's Abigail Gertie's into the game. My mistake. Not Hoffman. We do expect to see Hoffman. She's played in every game this year, but it is the freshman Abigail Gertie's who is into the game, number 19 in white. Hendricks up the field. Headed towards Gertie's, but she's not able to keep it in play. Maharis able to win the ball. Dameron for Jackson. Rachel Jackson being held from behind. She slips away from one defender. Jackson out to O'Toole. Nice ball out there. The junior runs it down in the corner and now has it taken off her feet. And it will be a Hopkins throw. Cross looking for Maharis. Cleared away for now. Stills, who got the second goal for the Garnet. Stills up the sideline. King trying to run onto it. Natalie Farrell is there and wins the ball. Colson. Back for Laurel Buck. Colson again. Obayashi now. Cleared way up the field as Farrell will run it down. In communication with her goalkeeper, and it's Hendricks who comes out to scoop it up. Sydney Kovitz, first team All-Centennial performer last year. She started every game, had 7 goals, 4 assists for the Garnet. She has it on the sideline here. Plays it long up for Stills. Buck gets to it first and back to her keeper. Hendricks off the side of her foot a little bit. Dameron hit from behind with no whistle. Jackson running onto it. Rachel Jackson, she's going to get to it first. Jackson on the right foot. It stays in play. Jackson right back to it. Reich tries a shot, and it deflects towards Maharis. And finally, Kovitz comes up with it. Nice defending there. Big play for Maggie Colson to just punch it out. And she wins her team the throw-in. So great job by Maggie Colson. O'Toole flicks it on for Gertie's. Gertie's has a step, but she couldn't keep it in. Got a touch to it, but it just rolled slowly off her foot and out for a goal kick. As 2 subs will come in for Swarthmore. Grace Taylor checks back into the game. And Alice Onyengo-Apio, the freshman out of Harrisburg, will check in defensively. As Emma Tapp and Maddie Cairns both go to the bench for the Garnet. 2 subs come in here in the 66th minute. Farrell looking for Jackson. Finds the foot of Rachel Jackson. A right-footed shot blocked down by Apio. Gerties slips through for Jackson. On the left foot, back for Gerties. Didn't get all the way through, though, as Eleanor Moser was there to break it up. Kovitz up the field. Maybe numbers for Swarthmore. Nikki Gibbons. She'll play it long. It's a foot race. Obayashi trying to get there. Obayashi makes a big touch and puts it out for a corner. Lizzie King thought she was going to be one on the goalkeeper, but Mizuho Obayashi makes a big defensive play. Corner coming here for the Garnet. Sydney Kovitz will take it with 1 assist on the season with the right foot. High arching corner kick. Bouncing around off multiple heads. It's played out to the top and headed away. Gerties trying to turn and run. Gives off to Jackson. Up to Gerties, but too far for her and out for a Garnet throw. Maharis. Colson. Up for Jackson. Back to O'Toole. Not able to win the fight for that one. Moser sends it away. Colson to O'Toole. Tries to flip it around her defender and gets taken down. Foul will go against Louise Rosler back there, who scored the first Swarthmore goal back in the 36th minute. Colson will take this one into the box. Molly Reich with the header, but right at the keeper, Chantel Reyes, who comes up with her 6th save today for the sophomore out of Portland, Oregon. It was a nice run made by Molly Reich there. She looked for her 2nd goal of the year. Buck will send that one out for a Garnet throw. 2 subs, make it 3 subs, ready to come in for Leo Wiles' team. Looking down there, Caroline Bates, one of the 3, ready to check in. And that 3 might become 5 pretty soon. Over to Kovitz. Kovitz to her left, defended well by Dameron. And we will get 5 subs for Hopkins, 2 subs for Swarthmore, starting with the Garnet. Kim Cockenmeister, number 25, back in there, and Brittany Wiederhold, number 16, in there as well. And 5 in there for Hopkins. Maddie Rocks, Carly Lupton-Smith, both check back into the game. The junior Samantha Hoffman is in. We told you she'd be coming into the game. The freshman Caroline Bates in there as well. And I believe there was a 5th substitution in there. Try and get you that one as well. In towards the box. Popped up in the air. And it was Katie Whittington, the junior defender, number 6 in white. So Whittington, the final of those 5 subs that Leo Weil brought into the game here. As we have less than 20 minutes to play, it's Hopkins 3 and Swarthmore 2. Maharis and Jackson twice have the Hopkins goals. Rosler and Stills have the tallies for the Garnet. Away from Dameron. Up to Samantha Hoffman. Now Jackson. 2 goals already for Rachel Jackson. Tries to play up for Rocks, but too far for her as Reyes scoops it up. Reich brings it down. She gives it away quickly. Right back to Lupton Smith. Up for Gerties. Back to Whittington. Team's being a little loose with possession here, and it'll be a high row. Jackson on the right foot. Slips it through for Molly Reich. Trying to make some space. Said it's cleared up for Kovitz. Sydney Kovitz to the right foot. Long ball ahead. Kovitz. And Dameron is there. Goes up the sideline with it. Reich wins it. Jackson in a fight for position. She goes down to the turf with no whistle. But Rocks and Lupton Smith combine to win it back for Hopkins. Amelia Mounts makes a couple moves, gets around 2 defenders. Mounts trying to slip one through, but that was kind of an in-between ball there. Needed to be closer to the goal if she wanted to find one runner, and then it was Kovitz on the outside. Needed to be a little wider to find her. So it couldn't find her or Wiederhold, and it goes out for a goal kick. Substitution here for the Garnet as Seneca Kingurzo comes off. And number 10, Megan Ruoff, will check into the game for the first time. Sophomore midfielder out of Portland, Oregon, appearing in her 11th game out of 13 this season. Ruoff has 2 goals and 1 assist on the year. Wiederhold into the box now. Shot blocked. Whittington was right there. Nikki Gibbons. Off to Kovitz. Kovitz in the corner. Right-footed cross, knocked down. Kovitz keeps it alive. Into the box, Ruoff heads it along. Rolls out for Grace Taylor. Into the box again. Hendricks off her line. And gets there. Squeezes it off the bounce. Gerties and Jackson trying to run onto that one, but Moser handles it. That one deflected and cleared. Laurel Buck brings it down. Nice defending by the sophomore. Buck up to Gerties, but it just hops over her right foot. "15 minutes to go in this one. 3-2 in favor of Hopkins, as after a short rest, Natalie Farrell will check back in and Abigail Gerties will head to the bench. Defense in for offense, as Leo Weil makes a tactical substitution there, trying to hold the 1-goal lead with less than 15 to play. Leo got that 400th career win a few weeks ago, now at 402 with 119 losses and 43 draws in his career. On his way to his 18th NCAA tournament in 28 seasons at the helm of Hopkins women's soccer, the only coach this program has ever known, and he's doing a great job again this season. Got a top 10 team here as that one's crossed in. Dameron heads it away to the top of the box for Ruoff. She couldn't get to it. Almost a swing and a miss by Farrell, but Katie Whittington there to back her up. Up to Jackson, who's really the only player up top now for Hopkins as they hold the 1-goal lead late in this one. But we've already seen it today on her first goal that gave Hopkins the 2-1 lead just before the half. She can do it all on her own if need be. Kovitz. Ruoff. She'll switch the field. Finding Rosler. Tries to thread it into the box, and Natalie Farrell stops that one right away. Ruoff again, off for Gibbons. Nikki Gibbons to her right foot. Rosler. Lupton-Smith defending. And Lupton-Smith blocks it out for a throw. Towards the goal line. Did that take a deflection? It did not. And a goal kick coming for Hop. Dameron able to clear that one. Hoffman. Back to Reich. Up for Jackson. Rachel Jackson looking for the hat trick. Trying to bring it down. And it'll be a Hopkins throw. Emily Maharis back into the game as Maddie Rocks will get a rest. As again, Leo Weil goes a little bit more defensive. Now just about 11 minutes to play as Hopkins holds this 3-2 lead. Maharis in the corner. Cleared away by Moser. The last tally we saw was Sophia Stills for the Garnet in the 57th minute that cut this Hopkins lead to 1. Since then, not a lot of scoring, not a lot of shots. Overall, 22 for Hopkins and 14 for the Garnet. Maharis into the box. Maharis on her right foot as she's falling down. And it took one hop into the arms of the goalkeeper, Chantel Reyes. Kovitz up the left side. Brittany Wiederhold now. Wiederhold, and that one nowhere close to the goal. Brittany Wiederhold, who was an All-Centennial Conference honorable mention last year when she had 8 goals and 3 assists as a junior. As now Molly Reich will come off and Maggie Colson will come back in for what will be the final 10 minutes of play in this one. Hopkins looks to hold this lead. Nice run by Reich, who didn't get the start today. Now 15 games for her. She started 7 of them, come off the bench in 8 of them. Aggressive defending on the sideline here from Hopkins. There'll be a Swarthmore throw. Dameron up to Jackson. Jackson flips it over one defender and earns a throw. Rachel Jackson obviously has the 2 goals. She's the only player with multiple goals in this game, so that's going to stand out on the score sheet. But she has done everything well today for Hopkins and has to be the woman of the match if the Blue Jays can hold on. She's done a phenomenal job up top, and right now for Jackson, you can almost argue it's her toughest job because although she doesn't have to push 100% for goals with her team in the lead in less than 9 minutes to play, with the formation Leo Weil now has out there as he tries to keep Swarthmore off the board and get the victory, Jackson is the only player pushing up at all right now. She's atop the formation by herself. And anytime that ball runs through the midfield, it's up to her to track it down and try and pass it off and take some time off the clock, as Alex Dameron has played a nice game as well, will come to the bench, and Obayashi will come back in for the final 8 minutes. Maharis feeds it off for Colson. Lupton Smith and Katie Whittington, who's come in and played nicely these last 15. Hopkins put a little more pressure on. And Farrell will clear. And a misplay. It hit off the shoulder of Amelia Mounts. And it will be a Hopkins throw as they can run some more time off this clock. Into the corner for Jackson. And a goal kick coming. Again, there's the tough part of the job. She's the only one up there to try and corral that thing into the corner. 3 subs in for Swarthmore here with about 7 minutes to play. Lizzie King, Maddie Cairns, Seneca Kingurzo. 3 starters back in for the home stretch for Todd Ankadis' team. Colson up to Jackson, uses her head. Lupton Smith fighting with Gibbons. Farrell, a little bit of a miss hit, goes out for a throw. Lupton Smith now. And a Hopkins throw incoming. Colson try to find Jackson. Headed out by Moser, and another Hopkins throw with now just 6 minutes remaining on the clock. Game is really slowed down in action, but that's okay with Hop because they've had the lead that entire time here in the final, really the final third of this game. Lizzie King makes a couple moves towards midfield. Gives it off to Maddie Cairns. Cairns over to Mounts. Mounts up to Wiederhold, who keeps it in. Cross into the box. Hendricks is out. It's loose. And it rolls wide of the goal. And it will be a foul against Swarthmore. The goalkeeper came in and said that I believe Hendricks had enough of the ball where Lizzie King couldn't go in that hard, and she did just that to knock it away from the goalkeeper. And a free kick for the Hopkins keeper with 5 minutes remaining. Farrell trying to run it down. Keeps it in. In towards the box, looking for King. But it was Caroline Bates who knocked it away. Hoffman looking for possession. And a foul against Hop. Free kick coming here for Swarthmore. Dangerous set piece for the Garnet. With less than 5 minutes to play as they trail by a goal. Luis Rosler, who already has a goal in this one, had the first tally for Swarthmore in the 36th minute, will set up to take with the right foot into the box. Head is there, but it goes well wide of the goal. Alice Onyongo-Apayo was trying to run it down, the freshman out of Harrisburg, but she couldn't get there. And the whistle blows. It goes to Hopkins. Again, 23 shots for the Blue Jays, 16 shots for the Garnet. Been an offensive attack from both teams, and that's why we've had a fairly high-scoring match, 3-2 here. Hopkins just a little over 3 minutes away from coming out on top. Hendricks off her line. Nice communication there. She had Laurel Buck shield it from any forwards for the Garnet that could be running in on it, and then Hendricks just falls on top of it. Maharis up towards Jackson, but it's cleared away. Colson runs it down. Nice move, Lupton-Smith. Can she stay on the ball? To Maharis. Keeps it in play. Emily Maharis. Dispossessed. Wiederhold in a fight with Bates. And Bates wins it, and the foul goes against the Garnet. Nice play by the freshman Caroline Bates, who's been in for the last chunk of this one. Be a free kick for Hop. They'll probably play it short, and Colson will just turn around and send it back to Natalie Farrell, who will try to play it towards the corner. But maybe didn't hold on to that ball for long enough. Deflected towards Whittington. Rosler up the sideline. Under 2 minutes to play in this one. 3-2 Hop. It was 2-1 at the half. Each team got a goal in the second half. And that's where we stand. Maharis trying to win the ball. And Swarthmore picked it up and threw it, but both the head referee and the assistant both said Hopkins throw. They can run some more time down. Try to get it down towards the corner. Maharis had it run off her a little heavy, and she commits what really is a smart foul there, and it's only smart if she doesn't pick up a card, which she did not. So it stops the run of play, allows her defenders to get back. This one's played long and headed away. Out towards Mounts with 1 minute remaining. Mounts towards the top of the box. Stills turning. Sophia Stills scored the second goal for the Garnet back in the 57th minute, but couldn't get a shot off there. And Whittington up the sideline and out of bounds. Just 40 seconds separating Hopkins from its 10th victory of the season. Stills on the ball for the Garnet. Whittington off of Stills and out. Nice play by the junior Katie Whittington out of Sandy, Utah. And Hopkins just has a few more seconds to tick away. Maharis back to Whittington. It'll run into the corner. Farrell will play it out. 10 seconds to go. Swarthmore is going to need one final shot. Cross to the top of the box. One more shot is blocked, and that will do it from Homewood Field. That was a back and forth bout between these two very good squads, but Hopkins comes out on top with a 3-2 victory over Swarthmore. Hopkins opened up the scoring in this one. Emily Maharis on a header off a corner kick made it 1-0. But then Swarthmore answered. Luis Rosler made it 1-1 in the 36th minute. But just before the half, a great run by Rachel Jackson. With less than a minute before halftime, she scored. And Hopkins took a 2-1 lead into the break. Rachel Jackson, 50th minute, early in the second half, scored again to make it 3-1. Sophia Stills got one back for Swarthmore, made it 3-2 in the 57th minute. But then the game slowed down a bit after that, and the shots slowed down as well, and Hopkins held on for the 3-2 victory. 23 shots for Hop, 18 shots for the Garnet at the end of the day. With the loss, Swarthmore now 9-4 overall, 3-3 in conference play. Hopkins, which is ranked number 6 in the country and should see that ranking move up this week, they moved to 10-1-4 overall and are still unbeaten in Centennial play with 4 victories and 3 draws on the season in the conference. Next up for Hopkins, couple of matches on the road. Next Saturday, October 26th, they're on the road at noon against Ursinus. Then October 30th, a 4 o'clock game at Gettysburg before they return home for their final home match of the season, which will also be Senior Day. That'll be Saturday, November 2nd, a 3 p.m. start here at Homewood Field as they will take on Franklin and Marshall to finish up the regular season, and you can watch that one right here on HopTV. So one more time for my entire HopTV crew, I'm Connor Newcomb signing off for the day from Homewood Field. We thank you so much for watching this one and for watching everything that went on around Hopkins sports today. It was a big day here in Baltimore for Hopkins athletics, and we hope you enjoyed all the action here on HopTV. One more time, Hopkins women's soccer wins it 3-2 over Swarthmore and stays unbeaten in Centennial play. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we hope you join us next time right here on HopTV.